Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the Vivalon Healthy Aging Campus grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony. I'm Joe O'Hare, and I was the CEO at Vivalon for 12 years. I've been in retirement for 3 years, and I highly recommend it. What a terrific start to 2024 with this event. And it's particularly fitting because Vivalon is celebrating its 70th anniversary year of serving Marin's older adults and disabled communities. 70 years for thousands of people. The Healthy Aging Campus concept roots go back to 15 years ago in 2009. Vivalon was facing the challenge of an impending new neighbor at its location a few blocks east of here on Tamalpais Avenue. That new neighbor would eventually become the smart downtown train station. Facing the need to redevelop that site or find a new location, Vivalon took the opportunity to envision a new model of integrated care for Marin's elderly populations. Could we combine medical care, human needs services, and safe, affordable housing at one location for Marin's most vulnerable population? Well, today you are witnessing that vision become a reality. Vivalon could not have accomplished this task without having selected the right partner organizations. I met Linda Mandolini and Andrea Osgood, who's in the back, in the summer of 2012 and learned about this amazing organization named Eden Housing. We formed a partnership in 2013, and working side by side for the past 10 years, the Healthy Aging Campus went from a vision to a reality. I quickly learned that this project was going to be a marathon and not a sprint, that persistence beats resistance. There were many times along the way where I thought we'd never succeed. However, Linda and Andrea were always there to reassure me that we would be successful, and they were right. Sorry. I also learned that it truly takes a village to turn a project like this from vision to reality. This example is beautifully displayed on the donor wall and naming plaques throughout this new center, one of my favorite spots to look at. Without these individuals and organizations' continued generosity and support for this project, it would have never been completed. I'd like to personally thank a few people. I'd like to acknowledge Susan and Dennis Gilardi, for whom this new center is appropriately named in their honor. Susan and Dennis made the lead and largest gift for this project 10 years ago because they believed in the mission and the organization. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge the Marin Community Foundation, in particular, the former CEO, Dr. Tom Peters and Jonathan Logan. Their upfront investment and support for this project opened the doors to several other key capital campaign gifts. And the Marin Community Clinics for partnering with Vivalon in the development of this new model of integrated care for Marin's elderly population. Vivalon's board of directors, CEO Ann Gray, and their leadership team have worked tirelessly to finish what we started 15 years ago. The future looks bright for this new model of integrated care for the elderly. My wish is that this new Healthy Aging Campus is the first of many in Marin, the Bay Area, and around the country. Why? Because it's the right thing to do for our growing older adult population. Thank you all for being here for this momentous celebration. Today, you will hear from individuals and organizations involved in this project. It is my honor now and privilege to introduce the chairman of the board for Eden Housing, Rudy Johnson.
Thank you, Joe. It's a real privilege to be here today among so many affordable housing advocates and supporters. I just want to take one more minute to reflect on what Joe said. So much effort was put into this project. Let's give everyone who had a hand in this project a round of applause. I'm particularly happy to be part of this event in my brand new role as Eden's chairman. I'm in my second week. Thanks to the hard work of so many individuals before me, I get to do fun things like celebrate with you here today. This project has taken 10 years to come to fruition. And as I took my walk around, it was apparent that a lot of love, hard work, sweat went into this project. So congratulations to all. We'd like to thank Vivillon for selecting us to be their partners in this beautiful project, along with the many individuals and organizations who have been involved in the past 10 years that Doug has mentioned, as well as our lenders, First Republic Bank, Chase, and Raymond James, and our event sponsors, Chase, Kaiser Permanente, and Raymond James. The real winners, though, are the residents that are now occupying this building. Let's not forget that, and that's not lost on me. Similar to the nationwide trend, California faces a significant increase in its aging population as the number of seniors grappling with housing and care expenses continue to grow in this state. Initiatives such as the Vivillon Healthy Aging Campus become indispensable. In my daytime role as the CEO of the Neighborhood House Association in San Diego, California, we have the honor of serving seniors, and I unfortunately know all too well the challenges this vulnerable population faces. But let me say this, in 2 years, I'll be eligible to make application to stay here. So take care of me as well. This project includes 67 units of 100% affordable senior homes. It also includes the new Vivillon Healthy Aging Center and Integrated Care Clinic that combines traditional medical services with coordinated care, social engagement, learning opportunity, nutrition services and activities, and programs to design and promote healthy aging. The campus boasts many sustainable features, including solar panels, Energy Star appliances, drought-resistant landscaping, and it's San Rafael's first car-free community. So let's give a hand clap to that. Outstanding. Again, thank you for coming here today. And now I'd like to hand it over to Ann Gray, CEO of Vivillon. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy. So, wow, the room got fuller since I stood back there. Vision for this project began more than a decade ago, and it is wonderful to be standing here today with all of you. Vivillon's Healthy Aging Campus stands today thanks to so many people. Vivillon's incredible staff, our dedicated board, community leaders, our generous donors, and the best possible collaboration with Eden Housing all played a crucial role in bringing us to this moment. Community and joy are the two words that describe perfectly what we have in this space. The minute I met our first resident, while we were still building out the first 2 floors, I knew we had created something very special. The joy in her face and the sense of belonging she shared with me will stay with me forever. Joy is what I see around me every time I step into this space. We have many collaborators who are part of our work, and I would especially like to thank the County of Marin, Community Action Marin, who will be providing all of our food, or who does provide, we're already open, our food in the Vivillon Cafe, and also Marin Community Clinics, who will be operating our integrated health clinic opening later this summer, and that's on the first floor. We had an incredible team on this project, and I would like to thank everyone we worked with so closely at Eden Housing, Robert Sobayashi Construction, Van Meter Williams Pollock Architects, MBH Architects, Amy and David from Braddock & Co., who are just incredibly valuable project managers, and Trubeck Construction, who's responsible for the beautiful space that you're standing in, and Tamar, who was our solid along the way with Eden Housing, really working with every person involved in this project was pure joy. There was never contention. There was never finger pointing. It was just all about what we were building in this space with love and collaboration and just a real sense of purpose and positivity. So it just was wonderful. Today's a huge milestone for Vivalon. As Joe mentioned, we launched our 70th anniversary year. So that's a huge milestone. So we should applaud that. So I want to thank everybody from the Vivalon and Eden teams who worked on today's event, and Stacy Scott Catering. She's providing the lunch that you will enjoy after all of the festivities. And we have a good sized program to get through. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the incredible CEO of Eden Housing, Linda Mandolini.
Thank you, Anne. Since we're coming up on Valentine's Day, I thought I would just tell you how I felt when I was driving down 3rd Street today and I saw the Vivalon sign on the side of the building. I thought my heart was going to explode. Really, it is a joyous occasion because I remember interviewing with Joe and talking about how committed Eden is to senior housing. In fact, we did our first senior housing development in 1972. It's still a really, really great place to live, and it's still as affordable today for those seniors who live there now as it was to the first ones who moved in. We are not fly-by-night partners, Joe, and I think you chose us because we stick to it. And I didn't think that Andrea's child would be going to college next year, but we have these running jokes about how old is Wiley in Vivalon years. We really have appreciated this partnership. We believe at Eden Housing that this kind of housing is really the right kind of senior housing. It is helping people who cannot afford assisted living, people who really need a great place to live. And it is my board who have driven this the whole time. And I want to give Rudy a shout out for stepping up to chair. I see Amy on our board. I know Cheryl O'Connor from our board is also in this audience. Like Vivalon's board, they are all volunteers. They work incredibly hard and they care about the mission. That is a torch that we all carry. And I just want to thank everybody that has already been thanked again. We really, really appreciate the partnership, the city, the state, all of the lenders and investors, and then all the staff who do the hard work. We would not be here today if people gave up. And, we have a saying at Eden, where there's a will, there's a way. So we are not going anywhere, and we hope to do this again. So thank you so much for joining us and celebrating today. And I'm going to hand it back to Anne.
All right, so we're going to dive right in here. And I am just so grateful for Vivalon's strong relationship with the leaders and staff of the city of San Rafael, many of whom are in the room or in the building today. You are here when we need you with support, encouragement, as well as some impressive hurdle jumping. Not to mention the city provided nearly $1.9 million in funding for this project. So it's truly my pleasure today to introduce the great leader of the city of San Rafael, Mayor Kay Collin.
Thank you, Anne. And thank you, Joe. And thank you, Linda. I love that comment of community and joy, right? When we breathe in these moments, especially when they're extended over 10 years, and to have that be at the finish line is incredible and a testament to all this hard work. I'm happy to be here on behalf of the San Rafael City Council, but I am not alone in this effort. I have my colleague, two of my colleagues are here. Vice Mayor Eli Hill and Councilmember Rachel Kurtz are in the building, as is current City Manager Christina Lilovich, Assistant City Manager John Stefanski. And because it was a 10-year horizon, I want to give a shout out to Paul Jensen, who headed up community development, kept this thing going. He's getting his own applause, well-deserved. And our previous city manager, Jim Schutz. I actually see Marin County Supervisor Eric Lucan is in the back. Maybe his colleague was going to give him a shout out. But again, it takes all of us coming together. And I remember first hearing about this from Joe, and the vision was incredible. And it still feels that way today. And I remember hearing about it and thinking, This is exactly what we want to have here in San Rafael. We want to show people that we can look at what people are going to need in the future, not what they needed last year, not what they need today, but what do they need going forward? And it's really the integration of all the services that are here. I couldn't be more proud that this is here in San Rafael. And I bet there are going to be people coming from all over California, the US, to check out this incredible center and what is going on here. This is absolutely needed, not just in San Rafael, in California, and in the United States. We need to provide the supports. We need to provide affordable housing and all of those wraparound supports for our low income seniors, our aging population, where we excel here in Marin County at aging. And taking this moment to recognize that there are many speakers and many people that are part of it. You're going to hear from a lot of people today. And what I hope your takeaway is, and I know it's mine, there are two big takeaways. One, it takes all of us. There's not one entity that can do these types of projects. So as we go forward, how do we continue to come together to have this be created? And the best part of it is it can be done in spite of the hurdles. I love the hurdling because that was so true, but it can be done. And remembering that in those moments, and I'm sure there is a lot of details that I don't even know about where the moments got a little bit lower, but knowing that we can actually achieve them together and stay together. So you are all here either because you are actively a part of having this come to fruition, or you believe in the mission. So thank you for showing up today to be a part of this incredible celebration. I have a proclamation from the city of San Rafael. I'm not going to read it, but I'll leave it up here so you all can read it later. I'm honored to be able to be up here and to say a few words. Thank you. Okay, you get to see a photo of it though.
All right. All right. So Marin County, here we are. And Marin County contributed nearly $900,000 toward the Healthy Aging Campus. These figures haven't been well publicized. That's why I'm publicizing them today. And the Marin County Board of Supervisors are incredible champions of Vivalon and the importance of the critical services we provide to address food insecurity, reduce social isolation, and bridge the digital divide. And it's my pleasure to introduce Supervisor Mary Sackett, who is the leading advocate for older adults, and also recognize Supervisor Lucan, who is here. So thank you.
Good afternoon. It's great to see you all. As I was thinking this morning, I was reflecting on being in the city council chambers in 2014, and Joe Hare was there. And I remember sort of looking at his face with this. There were some comments about, I can't remember if it was design review or planning commission, but like the color of the building wasn't quite right by a shade, and maybe an awning was a little bit different, and kind of looking at him like, is this ever going to happen? And here we are. It takes a little while. And maybe we have a better project. I think it's a beautiful building and a beautiful project that so blends into the community. I want to take the opportunity to thank all of the county staff. There's many of whom are here, the Housing Authority. I know I saw Liz Darby and so many other people who have kind of worked on bits and pieces in bringing together the CDGB funds and home grants to help support this building and campus. But a lot of people have worked on this for many years. And I just want to take a moment to thank all of them. This is just an amazing, we talk a lot about the whole person, right? So we're not eating a meal over there and getting some healthcare over here and living someplace where we can't necessarily get to where we want to go. The fact that this is car free, that you can have lunch, you can play ping pong apparently, and really come together as a community is such a beautiful thing that I think we all want at each stage of our lives, but especially given the isolation that we felt over the last couple of years. So it's great to be with my colleague Supervisor Lucan and all the county employees to be here on this momentous occasion for the grand opening. Thank you. Sure.
So I also want to add my thanks to the county, and I want to give a shout out to Lily from the county and also to Kim Carroll. We really don't do anything without all those acronyms that the supervisor referenced. We really, really need that support to make these projects happen. We also need the support of the state of California, and it was quite a joy on Monday when we heard that the senator for this district was promoted to the president of the Senate of the state of California. I met Mike for my first time on a project in Healdsburg when he was a city council member. And he asked me for the first time in my life, I had a city council member ask me to include housing for the homeless in a project. Up until then, people didn't really want to talk about that as a challenge, but he actually wanted us to include the housing so we could have a solution. So I can think of no better person to be running the Senate in California with a crisis of the magnitude that we have than Mike. And I do need to make a little plug to Summer, his staff person. We really need housing funding, and we know it's a tough budget year, but I mean, people, I'm shameless. I'm sorry. But we have a housing bond, we have ACA 1, and we potentially should get some of that money back in the budget that's been cut by the governor. So we're counting on Mike. I'm sure she'll pass that on. But anyway, Summer's here to help us celebrate.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is a tough act to follow. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. My name is Summer, and I'm here on behalf of Senator Mike McGuire. Senator's so sorry that he could not be here with you all today and has asked me to say a few words. As many of you know, the senator recently took on a new role in the state Senate. I was fortunate enough to join him in SAC for the swearing in earlier this week. In his remarks after taking the position, saying this to you over there, in his remarks after taking on the position, he reaffirmed his commitment to tackling the housing and homelessness crisis that is currently being felt throughout the state. This includes continuing to create affordable housing that will benefit our most vulnerable populations. In California, where they predict that older adults will make up 1/4 of the state's population by 2030, 1/4, just want to reaffirm that, this is especially important. Creating a sustainable plan for this means bringing all stakeholders to the table. And this historic project from Vivalon and Eden exemplifies that strategy. A community cannot thrive until all of its members are taken care of. And I think we can all agree that Vivalon has led the charge on lifting up those who have too often been left behind for the past 70 years. It's amazing. To reach 70 years on its own is incredible, but to cap it off with a project of this size is absolutely legendary. That being said, I think the whole team at Vivalon, especially their fearless leader, Anne, needs another round of applause. As we all know, Anne has gone to bat for this project again and again and again. And I could not be more happy for her and her entire team that this day is finally here. Although let's be real, it feels like it was like 5 minutes ago that we were here for the groundbreaking. Congratulations again on this amazing achievement. On behalf of Senator McGuire and Assemblymember Damon Connolly, I am honored to present this resolution to Vivalon for their 70 years. Thank you so much for having me.
And we hear Assemblymember Connolly is here. So we're just going to put him on the spot too to talk about the budget. No.
So yes, we would like to welcome State Assembly Member Damon Connolly. Thank you so much for being able to join us today. And we are putting you on the spot to say a few words. So come on up.
Thank you. No, glad someone who I was about to have lunch with mentioned the event, and I could not be more happy to be here to help celebrate the opening of this. As a county supervisor for many years, I was very intimately involved with working with Vivalon, the city, other nonprofit partners to make this vision a reality. As we all know, I mean, how cool is it when you have a vision and then you ultimately get to see what comes of that. This building, and I just literally saw kind of the finished exterior for the first time, is beautiful and really emphasizes kind of what we're trying to achieve as a community. Finding permanent supportive housing for those most in need In this case, most notably our seniors, who too often are the people in our community that are most at risk of losing their housing. So I cannot thank Vivalon enough for bringing this vision to a reality. Mayor Kate, Supervisor Sackett, who I had the pleasure of working with for many years when I was a supervisor, and of course, State Senator Mike McGuire. Yes, it is very cool that our very own state senator is now the #1 leader in the state senate. We had a wonderful swearing in proceeding in Sacramento earlier this week. So fully expect to be able to call on Mike, and of course, continue to call on me as your proud representative of Marin and Southern Sonoma counties to not only help with Vivalon, but also housing more generally, the mental health crisis that we're facing. I think I heard a plug for Prop 1. We got to get that passed, of course, and continue the important work that we're doing as partners. So thank you again to everyone, and I appreciate the opportunity to kind of pinch hit at the last minute here as well.
It's fun for that. Oh, yeah, picture. You'll be back up for the ribbon cutting. All right. All right, that was exciting. And next, I would like to introduce another person very special to the success of this project. Kimberly Carroll is with the Marin Housing Authority, and Marin Housing Authority is the organization responsible for the Section 8 housing vouchers. Does everybody know what Section 8 is? Well, if you don't, it's a great thing. It allows people to pay a certain percentage of their income toward rent, and it gives them the quality of life that they need to live in safe, secure housing, and have the opportunity to still have other funds for the needs of daily living and enjoying life. And so it is a program that preserves dignity, it preserves safety, it preserves health, and all the things that we want for our community. So I'd like to introduce Kimberly to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Wow, I am so excited to be in a room full of housing warriors. Wow, what an amazing feat this is. Yes, I'm representing the Marin Housing Authority, and we get to play a role by providing these federal subsidies to make the housing affordable for people who live here. So everyone gets to pay 30% of their income, no matter what their income is, and live in this beautiful place. I'm hoping we can figure out ways to get more and more of these federal vouchers for Marin County, because boy, do we need them. We're fully utilized right now with all 2,500 vouchers that we have. We're trying to put those into new projects like this. And we are just more than grateful to be part of this amazing team to make this happen. And I wanted to, just to let everyone know, the average rent for a 1-bedroom in Marin County is $2,900 for a 1-bedroom. Most of the people the Housing Authority sees and the people who live here are making well below $20,000 a year. So you can see how it just doesn't pencil out for folks to live here. They're getting moved out, pushed out, priced out from where they live. So the fact that there's the federal program, the Section 8 program, it really makes it work for people to continue to live in our community, which is so vital. And to have this amazing property here with the healthcare and the services and community built right here is just what a blessing. It's been fun for these last few years to drive home. I live in San Anselmo, work in San Rafael, to just watch this happening. And it's been really fun to just know that we're part of it. So on that, here's my team. I have part of my team. I have an amazing team, and they did a lot of work over the course of the last couple of months for sure, trying to inspect units,
all the units need to be inspected to pass this program for the federal program. We've had to process all these paperwork to make sure that people are eligible for the program, and it's been quite the feat. We also manage the wait list. We opened the wait list for 2 weeks. We had over 400 people apply. We'll continue to manage that as units turn and we can bring more folks on. But as you can see, there is a huge need. So, and I also want to do a shout out for my board of commissioners, Mary Sackett, Supervisor Mary Sackett, and Supervisor Eric Lucan, who is on my board of commissioners, who have given us the governance and the direction to do these things that we're doing. So we're grateful for their leadership and helping direct us. So thank you. I appreciate your being part of this team.
All right. Marin Community Foundation. They are a valued partner of Vivalon and Eden Housing. Their early backing of our vision is one of the main reasons we're all here today. And all along, they were strong advocates to help us see this project through to completion. I always say to MCF, thank you for getting us to the finish line. MCF provided 2 grants to Eden Housing for a total of $450,000 and 2 grants to Vivalon for the project, totaling $2.5 million. MCF also recently made a $1.5 million loan to Vivalon to bridge the receipt of our contributions toward this project. So thank you for helping us reach the finish line. Let's give them all a round of applause. And not only did they help us get to the finish line for this project, but they're really working in so many capacities to have Marin be one of the safest, healthiest, happiest, most environmentally friendly, most welcoming, most equitable county in the country. And a huge person that is part of that vision and that team is Shirin Vicaria. She is the Director of Health and Aging at Marin Community Foundation. She is passionate about our mission, and she's become a great confidant and ally to me since I've joined. And we are just truly so grateful for your dedications to the needs of Marin's aging population. So Shirin.
Wow, the room got more crowded since I went around to wait for my spot to speak. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Shirin Vicaria. Thank you for that very warm introduction. Want to acknowledge my colleague, Alan Burr, who is in the audience, as well as I saw Kristen Turk somewhere else. So the MCF team is here representing our executive team and board who wasn't able to join us today. We are just so pleased to see this project come together. By 2030, 1 in 3 Marin residents will be over the age of 60. Next week, I'm celebrating my husband's 60th birthday, so I'm well aware that that comes very quickly. And so we are outpacing the rest of the state in terms of our older adult population, which is why this project is so important. The Community Foundation has had a longstanding focus on aging in community. And for us, that means not sitting at home by yourself, isolated from the rest of the community. And this incredible center is such a testament to the concept of aging community, where you can live in a home that's affordable, safe, accessible, right upstairs from activities and places to engage with peers, with a vibrant downtown San Rafael right outside your front door so that you can be part of a broader community. It just hits on so many different levels and is such a good representation both of the foundation's work and Vivalon's vision. We continue to hear about housing being one of the primary barriers, if not the barrier, to successful and healthy aging in this community. We have worked on many fronts to help older people increase their income, reduce their expenses, make magic out of very little. And over again, we hear that housing is the primary barrier to really living a full and independent life well into your older years. So it's just amazing to see this all come together with Joe's incredible vision and leadership over the years, and talk about a finish line. I met Anne. She's a pandemic CEO. You know, we talk about pandemic babies, but she's a pandemic CEO. And we had many Zoom calls to get to know each other and for Ann to get caught up on the work. And it is not easy to raise money in the middle of a pandemic. So extra props to you, Ann, for everything that you did to get this project fully funded. Appreciation to all the donors and supporters that made it possible. And I want to do a special shout out to the tradespeople who worked on this site, because when we did site tours, man, those people work hard. They often work in a way that's very invisible. And so if we can give a round of applause to the folks, the electricians, the construction workers, all of the people that, thank God for them, because I would never have a place to live if it were not, because I'm completely not handy. And then just in closing, just want to repeat what's been said before, like what an incredible testament of what's possible when we come together in Marin, that we can overcome what feels like insurmountable barriers. So let's just do more of it. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. I want to add my thanks to the Marin Community Foundation, to Jonathan and Alan, who underwrote the housing side of the foundation's investment. We do nothing in this county without the support of the foundation. I also want to acknowledge the former CEO, Dr. Thomas Peters. Not only did he make sure we had money to do this project, he personally went to every single community meeting that we had with city councils for years. He stood side by side with Joe and I, basically saying, please vote yes. We really need this in the community. It carried so much weight with the council. It was so important to us. And so we are grateful that the foundation didn't just write the check and say, good luck and let us know how it's going. They wrote us a check and said, let us know how we can help. And that has been huge for us, not just on this project, but on everything that Eden is doing in Marin. So I want to say a special thank you there. Our next speaker is Noni Ramos. She's the CEO of the Housing Trust of Silicon Valley, an organization that I actually helped to start a way long time ago. And they started out in Silicon Valley, but they now invest all over California, including in this project. And I'm glad that Noni could join us here today.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Linda. Congratulations to Eden, Vivalon, and all of the partners. We are privileged at Housing Trust to be part of this beautiful new community. It's overwhelming to hear the story of the journey that you all took as a community, right? And the fruit of your efforts is here. And we just really congratulate you. And again, thank you for being part of this. We are a private nonprofit organization, and our role in creating communities like this is to aggregate capital. So we serve as an intermediary. We bring private capital into these transactions, and that's what we had the honor to do here. We've been able to invest over $500 million across our 14-year history, and we're proud to be able to work with partners like you. We are only able to do our work, and I think there's a theme here, through partnership. This beautiful new community is an example of the power of partnership, which is rooted in trust and collaboration. And you can really feel that in this room and through the stories that we're hearing today. We'd like to congratulate our longtime partner, Eden Housing, as they once again successfully create a new community that will be home to 67 seniors and provide all of those wraparound services and opportunities so that the individuals that have the ability to live here and to participate here can thrive, right? Can thrive and can enjoy their later years in life. We would also like to congratulate the other partners, Vivalon, as well as the public and private partners. As has already been noted by many of the speakers, none of this is done alone. We have to all really bind together to do this work. It sometimes is really tough. It's very wearing. And when one of us is a little bit low, one of us picks the other one up and we keep going, right? We keep going. Lastly, I'd like to thank our capital providers. So Apple, which you may not think of as an entity that is involved in affordable housing, is actually very committed to affordable housing. And so we collaborate with them, and we designed the Apple Affordable Housing Fund. And part of that capital is actually in this transaction. We were able to provide construction financing and some permanent financing for the project. And it allows projects like this to move a little bit faster because we provide gap financing, which sometimes is some of the last critical pieces. Here you have a unique opportunity because you've also raised so much local grant funds. So that's amazing. Our hope is that together we can all continue to advocate for more public and private financial resources, pro-housing, which this community certainly has, which will enable more housing to be built in shorter timelines. While you all stuck with it for 11 years, it would be incredible if we could do this faster so that we can house more people on shorter timelines so that folks have a place to call home. So once again, thank you for allowing us to be part of this. And we congratulate you and thank you.
It's all electronic back there. It's like, I don't want to push any buttons. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. This is where some of the Grateful Dead hang out. COVID was a long enough period in my life. And Joe was saying earlier this line that I'm going to have to use because I laughed so hard when I heard it. There's a Grateful Dead song called Truckin'. And in the song, they say, what a long, strange trip it's been. It's a line in the song. And it was long enough to go through COVID, but when First Republic Bank started out as our lender, and then Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic Bank just didn't exist at one point in this project, I was like, oh, really? We've had enough. Like, this project does not deserve this. We've worked so hard and we've worked so long, but we are so happy that JP Morgan Chase stepped up and held up the obligations of First Republic Bank. It was really important to us. We had been partnering with Chase in other locations, and they maintained their commitment to affordable housing. Chase has a huge commitment to affordable housing, which I'm sure Alexandra is going to tell you all about. But we would not be here today but for the $42 million worth of investment that First Republic made, and JP Morgan Chase chose to honor to continue to build this project. So with that, Alexandra Morevic from Chase.
Hi. For a moment, I thought I was going to give my remarks in the dark, which would have been really exciting. It's such a privilege to be here today and to see all of the work of everyone in this room and so many more people that I don't even know about, I'm sure, coming together in this one beautiful, beautiful space. Everyone has sort of sung its praises, but it's really exciting for me to be here and to see it in person. So as Linda mentioned, I'm here today representing FRB, which has made a $30 million construction loan for the project, which will roll into a permanent loan that will stay with the project till 2042. So not in it for the short term. We're here for the long haul. The loan was originated at First Republic Bank, which, as she noted, and many of you probably know, was acquired by JP Morgan Chase in the spring of last year. So although I did not have the honor of working on this project from the very beginning, I'm here representing sort of the collective JP Morgan Chase FRB team that is so proud to be supporting this project and to be involved in it going forward for those of us who are newer to it. When it became clear that FRB would be acquired, actually, I wanted to tell you that the banker who closed this transaction, who'd been in it from the beginning, approached us, came to our team, and was so careful, thoughtful, and considerate about making sure that nothing was missed in that transition. So even though, it's not apparent, there were a lot of people working on that transition kind of in the background and making sure that construction payments continued, the general contractor continued getting paid, and the behind the scenes sort of mechanisms were working. So we did that, and not because it's just our job, but because all of us on that team are truly passionate, committed, can't stop thinking about affordable housing. It's what we do and what we think about all day. Bankers are not normally emotional. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you again for giving our team the honor of working on and supporting this project. Congratulations to Eden, to Vivalon, very importantly to the residents who are going to live here. If any of you are here or in the other room, congratulations on your new home. So excited for you. And yeah. And to the many funders and supporters, there are just so many folks here today. So it's really thrilling to see. So congratulations to everyone on your involvement, and what a stupendous day for you. Thank you.
Kevin from Raymond James, our investor, couldn't join us today, but I did just want to acknowledge the $12 million tax credit investment that Raymond James has made into this project, without which we would not be here. So just want to acknowledge him. He had a family emergency. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to
Thank you. And, there's so many people to thank in this. And, we have many donors who are sitting in the room today. And if you feel comfortable raising your hand that you were part of this project, we'd love to give you a round of applause. If you're in one of the remote rooms, just raise your hand and If you don't, it's okay too. But there's so many people to thank. We also have many members of our board of directors who are sitting in this room, so I can name you by name. Diane Duda, Julie Begley, Melanie Rempe, Beth Reisman. I know Tom Bonomi's in another room. I think Paul Castro is here, but I haven't seen him yet today. So Paul, if you're here, wave to whatever room you're in. And we are just so honored to have so many wonderful board members with us today. And then I spied someone standing there that I would really like to thank, Tim Myers with Bank of Marin, because Bank of Marin is Vivillon's bank, and coming out of the pandemic was rough for us, and Bank of Marin was there for us. Let's just put it that way. And so thank you very much. But now we're doing great, thanks to you. So more thanks to say, but there are really no words to express my gratitude to Susan and Dennis Gilardi. You've been with us every step of this journey, and you have not stopped. I'm glad you're already on the ramp, so I can't look at you and cry. Today, your generosity endures, and you are actively involved in shaping the future of our mission through your involvement with the Coles Active Learning Program, which launches in March. Take information on your way out. And I know I can call on both of you as trusted advisors. We are so privileged to have them with us today to share a few words. Please join me in welcoming Susan and Dennis Gilardi to the stage.
It is said that good things come to those who wait. And we've been waiting a long, long time for this center to be up and running. But it's not good. It's great. Providing housing and healthcare, meals, classes, and many opportunities for socialization and connection for the seniors in our community. And Dennis and I are proud that we were in on the ground floor and helped to get this launched. And we're thrilled that to be here at its completion. So for everyone, for all of you who have made this possible, bravo, well done, and onward.
So the last speaker today is always the speaker I most like to introduce. This is a really big welcome home to all of the new residents who live here. And so I had the privilege of meeting one of the residents in the elevator, but I just met Denise, who will be speaking on behalf of the residents here today. Housing is transformative for people. It changes their lives. And the residents are really why I and all of the team at Eden get out of bed every morning to do this work. And so we are really thrilled that one of them was willing to share a few words with us to talk about her experience living here in the healthy aging campus that is Vivillon. So Denise.
Wow. This is the first. And I'm here to just say, wow. This has been such an opportunity for me as well. Coming to another county from Oakland. The environment, the whole intake, meeting other residents in this building has brought joy, love, serenity. When I walked in my place, I feel joy, peace, and willing to move forward with all that is given to me. I also want to thank Eden Housing, Miss Tiffany, Latifa, and there's other people as well. It has been, you just really don't know, this is awesome. To be in a room such as you all and to see your faces without me being here to know who has brought all this together, I would never know. So I want to thank you all for placing me into this adventure. Life, we all have our challenges, but it's up to us to keep it moving and create new things and new paths for other people that are in need. I just want to say thank you. Eden Housing, Vivillon, continue to do this work. It is much needed. And I'm here to say thank you to all of you that are here. Thank you.
But Anne left us Kleenexes under the secret stash of Kleenex. This is a happy occasion. It really is. I just want to echo the thanks to everybody who has done all of the really amazing work. And I need to give a special thank you to the Eden team, to Andrea Osgood, who started this project, to Susie Crisamagna, who picked up the project from Andrea, and to Tamar in the back, who picked it up from Susie. We had a lot of project people on this team. To Latifa, who is the manager here, and to the property management team, to Martha and her team. The work that our team does, it's not just building a building, it's building a home. It's also why we like being part of this work with Vivillon. I see Darnell, who's our Senior Vice President of Operations, in the back. We really work hard to make this a place that you want to live in 25 and 50 years from now. And it really is the operating team that does that for us, and our services team, Efren, who works with Vivillon, who doesn't want to get on this waiting list? And I am way closer to ready than you would ever want to be. But boy, this is an amazing opportunity. To our contractor and our architect, and to Vivillon's architects, what amazing work that we have all done. I just have to say thank you all. It is so gratifying to be here today. And Anne is going to tell us about how we're going to cut the ribbon.
Thank you, Linda. And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize our volunteers who are throughout the building today. You really make our organization come to life, and our wonderful programs and marketing and development staff who worked on today. And I just want to give a special shout out to Stephanie McNally. She's our Chief Programs Officer, and she did an incredible job bringing this all together in the crunch time of the holidays to make it the beautiful warm spot that you see today. So to get our ribbon cutting underway, we would like to invite all of our speakers from today to come back on the stage. Please use these stairs. If the stage gets full, just assemble in the front. So come on up. I would also like to invite Vivillon's CFO, Jeff Wands, if he's in the room, to come on up. And if you're not in the room, that's okay. Andrea Osgood and Tamar Saunders, if you would please come up. We'd like the Vivillon board members and the Eden board members to please come up. And we would like Yvonne Roberts, our Chief Donor Relations Officer, to come up. She's going to hold one end of the ribbon. And I don't see Jeff yet. So Stephanie, can you, oh, you're right here. So you're going to hold the other end of the ribbon. So we're going to go grab the ribbon. It's right there. Oh, it's right here.
I just want to note that there will be a unit to tour. Ceci, do we know the number?
And are Dennis and Susan up here? Okay.
And Susie, if you're here, I know you're in the building, so please join us.
We don't want any fingers there.
Yeah. They're wooden scissors, I think.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Thank you so